I'm Seth at Hornady. Today in the lab, we have the Frontier Cartridge line with our 223 Remington and the 55 grain bullet selections. We've got a full metal jacket, a hollow point match, and a spire point. Let's see how they do in bare gelatin. Up first, the 55 grain FMJ. Now we've already calibrated our ballistic gelatin using the standard FBI protocol, and we've got a 16-inch 1 and 9. Up first for evaluation is our 55 grain FMJ bullet. At about 3/4 of an inch, we started to get some expansion. At 3.5 to 4 inches, we reached our maximum cavitation of 4 inches, and this bullet retained quite a bit of mass and came to rest right at 11 inches. Up next, the 55 grain hollow point match. Up next, the 55 grain hollow point match. Now this particular bullet entered and at about 1/2 of an inch started to dramatically expand. At 3.5 inches, it reached its maximum cavitation, which was 4 inches, and it came to rest at about 8 3/4 inches. Now there was a significant amount of fragments that did exit the block, but there is a small fragment left there at 8 3/4 inches. Last up, the 55 grain spire point. Lastly, our 55 grain spire point bullet. Now this bullet began expanding almost immediately upon entering the block. At about 3 inches, it achieved its maximum cavitation, which was only about 3 inches, retained a little bit of mass, and penetrated just over 8 inches deep. There you have it, the 55 grain lineup in the 223 Remington Frontier cartridge. We learned some pretty surprising things here. For example, the 55 grain FMJ bullet did have expansion in this particular scenario. Now, as an FMJ, there is no consistent means for expansion, so results may vary. Next was the 55 grain hollow point match bullet. As expected, that bullet experienced very dramatic expansion, and it fragmented very quickly and exited the block with very shallow penetration. That last shot, the 55 grain spire point, and that bullet had a really nice blend of penetration, weight retention, and expansion. Although it expanded slightly less violently than the hollow point match, it still had a nice wound cavity. It expanded almost instantly within penetrating. Because it has that exposed lead tip, it has a consistent means to open up every time you shoot it, regardless of what you're shooting. These bullet options and more are available in 5.56 and 223 Remington. Look for the full Frontier cartridge lineup at your local retailer. For more information, visit Hornady.com.